What's up, everybody? Welcome back to week number 5 in iRacing at Five Flag Speedway in the Super Late Model. Qualified on the pole. We only have, for some reason my function keys aren't working. We only have 7 people in this race. Practice first, qualified first, should be a good race. We can race people pretty hard for the first 15 laps or so. After that, it gets pretty loose, and we have to kind of be really careful. So what we're going to do is try to get us a little bit of lead out and then just kind of go easy on the tires. And there's only 7 people here, so I wouldn't imagine there'd be a lot of cautions, but you never know. And hopefully we don't have something happen like last week where we have a caution right at the end of the race, or right near the race, and screw ourselves up. So anyway, we're going to get to it here, and hopefully we can have a decent race and finish at least in the top 3 and hopefully a win. I think we got a decent enough start. Let's try to keep these guys behind us as long as possible. That guy almost pulled right up here on the track in front of everybody. Thankfully he was watching. Could have been a bad situation there. Caution's out. Interesting. That was fast. 5 laps. I don't really see the need in going to the pits just yet. That's not good. Somebody's out already. Wow. Didn't take very long, did it? Yeah, they can pit if they want. He's going to pit. I just don't see the point in it yet. I mean, tires shouldn't really be in that bad a shape. It looks like it's a race between about 4 cars now, unfortunately. Jamie Bishaw took new tires, so he may be a little faster than us for a little bit, but I think we'll equalize pretty quickly if he is. Well, here we go again.
As you're running around out there, just take notice of where the shade is on the racetrack. You ready? 3.
Well, number 4 is falling way back. Looks like somebody got up underneath him there, and that's going to help us out a lot. So this track kind of seems like if you can get down there in turn 1, a lot of guys arc it in from way up high. I don't like doing that here. I like kind of getting down there low. If you barely get your left side tires down there on the apron, it kind of helps the car turn a little bit. Right here is a little tricky because if you miss it, it pushes you up right there. So you got to be real careful if you're trying to get underneath somebody that you don't push up into them. But all in all, it's a pretty fun track. Also really easy to hit a flat spot down there coming out of turn 4, and it gets you really loose, so you got to be careful about that. But for the most part, I think coming in a little lower and going in really hard like that, stopping the car and then getting it to rotate and coming hard off is probably your best bet on pulling a fast lap. Of course, I'm not the fastest guy in iRacing, so I wouldn't really know. but it seems to work for me pretty good. Now it's when the car is going to start getting a little loose. Now if the caution goes back out again, we'll definitely be pitting. This setup I'm running is not really made for a really hot track, and it's pretty warm at 91 degrees. So it does get a little looser than it probably would if I had maybe feels a little tighter, but I left it the way it was just because it was running pretty consistent laps in the 16s even after about 30 laps, so I felt like that would be good enough. I feel like everybody else, or at least a lot of people, will probably set their car up to be really fast on the short run, and they're going to get way too loose on the long run. I wanted mine to set up to where it'd be fast through about a 20 or 30 lap run, and of course I don't make my own setups. I have a guy that makes them, that gives them to me, but that's kind of how he set this one up, and generally that's seems like the best way to do it, unless you have a big field of cars with a lot of guys in it that has maybe less experience, where you have a lot of cautions. Having top speed on short runs isn't a good idea in the super late models. But when you have these races where there's only 6 or 7 guys in them, and after the first 10 or 15 laps, most of the inexperienced guys have done wrecked themselves out, having cars with good long run speed is definitely a necessity. Unfortunately, I have a feeling this race will probably have a pretty low strength of field, considering I think I'm in Division 2. The closest division in this race to me was Division 4, so I don't think it'll be a very high strength of field, which means we probably won't get a lot of points if we win, but at least we will have that win. And that'll help out in confidence, if nothing else. I really didn't know how I was going to be able to drive this track. Since it does get real loose, I was afraid that it might get too loose and I wouldn't be able to stay out front very long, but it seems like it's handling pretty good, especially much better than some of the other guys who are falling back pretty quick. I don't know what happened to number 2 car back there. Looks like he's the guy that took tires. The guy in second place. I don't know what happened to the number 4 car. Him and the guy that started in third just fell like a rock. Maybe they about got in an accident or something. But even the guy that took tires is falling back quite a bit. He's lost half a second in the last 3 or 4 laps. And I bet that this race probably goes green all the way to lap 75 unless somebody like myself loses it. Have to be real careful about that. It looks like the car's starting to get loose now, as you can see, and I'll have to just kind of really feather it off the corners. Be real careful with it. There's no point in pushing it too hard anyway. I'll bet you one of these guys at some point is going to push it too hard and spin out, and the caution will come out. I mean, at this rate, we'll be lapping them here in 10-15 laps. Yep, and he's gone. Guess his car was too damaged to continue. I always try to stay in the race as long as I can, even if that means that I don't even get to race anymore. I'd like to stay in there until my car's repaired. I think it actually takes away more of your I rating. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I think it takes away more of your I rating if you disconnect from a race before the checkered flags actually fell. As you can see, we are now halfway. Thankfully still in the lead. And it seems our speed is pretty much equalized. I mean, we're still pulling away from Jamie Bishaw, or Bishaw. But the Popes seem to not be losing a whole lot of ground anymore. They are still losing a little bit, but not as much as they were. Oh, maybe so. I was actually looking at the wrong number. It looks like he's lost about 2 seconds. So yeah, we're still pulling away from everybody. So this is definitely a setup that's working out really well for us. I'm hoping that this weekend, if I can get into some higher races with a higher I rating on some of the really fast drivers, that the same thing will happen, that we can start pulling away from some of them, or at least get ourselves a nice top 3 finish. That'd really help towards points. I think we're like 21st in national points out of everybody right now in super late models, which isn't terrible. I like, as long as I'm on that top page, I'm pretty happy. I would definitely like to finish in the top 10 though. That's kind of my goal, because I know I don't really have a chance of winning it because of my work schedule. So I'm always at work when the most populated races are being run. Like this race here, for example, I'm running at 1:15 in the afternoon, right before I get ready to go to work. So, and then I get home too late to get into the populated races at 7:15 and 9:15. My best shot is hitting the 11:15 race, and generally that's there's nobody left running it, so at least no really high-rated drivers. Very, very rarely. Sometimes you get some West Coasters in there, but not very often. Should start seeing some of the other cars in front of us here soon, I would think. We've got about 9 seconds on 4th place. Maybe another 10 laps or so, we'll probably start seeing them at the end of the straightaway. Really having to be real careful with the car, man. It's so loose right now. Just the rear tires are absolutely worn out. got about 7 seconds on 4th place. Don't believe we'll lap him. We might get close.
Got 20 laps to go this time by.
Although we might, you never know. Starting to get loose going into the turns now as well, so definitely starting to feel hairy all the time. As you can see, I mean, just barely hitting the gas just gets me real loose coming out of turn 4. I just gotta wait until I get on that straightaway. I don't think that we'll pass him, but we should be able to get to where we can see him at least.
Keep it up, my man. About 10 laps to go, I think.
Yep, there he is. Just caught a glimpse of him. Last lap, boys. Our first win, or our second win of the year. First win this week. Hopefully, we can get a few more later on. Not a bad race. Pretty boring, I know. Unfortunately, that's kind of how they are. A little bit of excitement there, I guess, maybe at the beginning, but not a lot. Even though we absolutely stomped everybody in that race, I'm going to do a little bit of a celebratory burnout here. Might as well. Start second. Oh, just barely touched the wall. Hopefully they don't actually give us any incident points. Check out the instant replays. Nobody even told me great win. Alright, here we go. First incident of the day is number 7 car. I wonder if this is the guy that blew up. I'm not sure what he was doing, because I think... What lap are we on? Oh, this is before the race even started, it looks like. No, maybe not. No, that's not before the race started. So number 6 car here. Looks like he's going to get a bit out of shape coming onto the front stretch. Oh, slammed the wall right there. That was a pretty hard hit. Looks like he's going to lose it, maybe. Yep. Oh, dang. Oh, jeez. How in the world? That's terrible. Well, it happens. It's really hard to save these cars whenever they overcorrect, and that brought the first caution out. So you got to take out 3 cars right there. You got this guy pitted, which is a smart move. Got him second place for sure, I believe. I don't think he would have got second if it wasn't for that. Number 4 car looks like he's probably going to smack the wall a little bit coming out. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, number 3 car here. Barely scraped the wall. And that's it. That was no more replays. Let's go ahead and check out real fast. I want to see my my awesome burnout. Oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Alright, let's find myself. Where am I? Here we go. Alright. This is all for the fans. I didn't even touch the wall there and it still gave me points. I guarantee you I didn't touch it. Look at this. I don't think I touched it at all. Actually, you know what? Let's get the camera down here where we can actually see. Alright, we can see kind of what's going on here. Don't think I ever touched it. I didn't, never did touch it. It still gave me those 2 points. Maybe it gave me those points for spinning out. That's a possibility, I guess. Oh well. Don't matter. We won, and that's what counts. Well, guys, I appreciate everyone watching. We'll go to the points real quick and check out the final rundown. Alright, we got the fastest lap with a 16.388, which was actually quite a bit slower than what I probably could have run. As you can see, strength of field was 1580, which is pretty terrible. Not a bad race at all, really. I really wish there was some higher class guys in there. Jamie Bishaw was a little higher with a 24. We gained 39 in iRating, which isn't bad, and another .23 in safety rating. So that puts us up to almost a 4.0. So we probably need to duck into maybe a couple cup races soon just to get our class up to a Class A. I'm not really concerned with getting into a Class A, really, because I'm not going to be running any Class A races for a while, I don't think. But anyway, pretty good race. I mean, qualified on the pole, won practice, led every lap, and it was just a good all-around day. The car got pretty loose right there around lap 30 or 40, and I couldn't really get on throttle, but I was still way faster than everybody else. And it was just a really good all-around race, I think. I want to look at my lap graph real quick just to see how much the car actually did fall off. Let's see here. I'm not sure, because that just gives position. I wonder if this is it. I thought there was a graph that told your lap times. Perhaps not. I guess if I had there's probably some kind of app I could use for that, but not going to worry about it right now. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, hit that like button. And I will see you guys in the next one. We're going to do race number 2, probably on, I reckon, on about Saturday. So I'm hoping maybe Friday night. I'm hoping the field increases a little bit by then. We can get like a good 17-player race in with a decent I rating. So we'll see you guys then. Have a good one. Bye-bye.